Hello, everybody. Welcome to your national television ORTM1. This is the time of your English time of every Saturday and Sunday. First, top news. The African Group of Ambassadors in Mali welcome the successful organization of the Inter-Malian Dialogue for Peace and National Reconciliation and congratulate the President of the Transition, Colonel Assimi Goïta, for his initiative. The special representative of the Secretary General and head of the UN Office for West Africa and the Sahel, at the head of a delegation, held a working session at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation. The Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment Promotion, on behalf of his colleague, the Minister of Transport and Infrastructure, invited Malians to work towards promoting meteorology and reducing environmental pollution as part of International Meteorology Day on the 20th of May. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to ORTM News. The African Group of Ambassadors in Mali welcomed the successful organization of the Inter-Malian Dialogue for Peace and National Reconciliation and congratulated the President of the Transition, Colonel Assimi Goïta, for his initiative. Over current sub-regional issues, such as IAS meeting in Niamey, Niger, were also discussed during the audience granted to her at her request by the Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Abdoulaye Diop. On leaving the audience, the Dean of the African Group of Ambassadors to Mali was questioned by Mamari Kone and translated here by Drisaka Damele.
We ask to meet His Excellency Abdoulaye Diop, our Minister of Foreign Affairs, to congratulate Malian government about the successful organization and holding of Inter-Malian Dialogue for Peace and Reconciliation. We followed the assizes from beginning to end. We came to express our pride about the maturity of Malian people who want to stay together, talk to each other so that peace returns in Mali. It's to provide our support because we are African, we are together, and we are witness everything which happens here. It's to congratulate Malian government and the head of state, Colonel Assimi Goïta, for his noble initiative. He united Malians to talk to each other. We also took the opportunity to talk about IS, the last meeting which took place in Niamey. Every time we come here, it's to get information from the source. And the second point was also to inform Malian government that the African group wants to celebrate a day. As May is Africa Month, we want to celebrate. All African embassies represented here will be there with stands from each country where we will present our hands. We have indescribable arts in Africa. We have many things. It's true, there are many similar things, but we will organize this event at the embassy of Libya. It will be an opportunity to mix with our Malian brothers and sisters who welcome us with great joy.
The special representative of the Secretary General and head of the UN Office for West Africa and the Sahel led a delegation to a working session at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation. The discussion focused on the progress made by the transitional authorities. The United Nations reaffirmed its support for Mali, a member country of the organization, in the security, economic, and social fields. Mamari Kone and Gasu Jara for the translation.
The United Nations would like to bring its support for the stabilization of Mali. In this case, the representative of the United Nations for Security in the Sahelian countries of West Africa has come to talk about security for Mali. United Nations mission for security, economic and social has been received by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and international cooperation. The representative of the United Nations spoke. We spoke to each other about something important. We spoke to the Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation. Sir Abdoulaye Diop spoke to us about the success that our country is achieving. We seize this opportunity to congratulate the country for finding solutions for many problems in order to promote the normalization in the nation life. We can see that there are many challenges and difficulties. Anyway, the country makes ways of the normalizations. In this case, the United Nations would like to be on the side of Mali in order to mobilize resources to fight against terrorism, but also to bring military support to the population. We want to encourage Malians to make progress in these fields. Mali is a member of the United Nations. In fact, the United Nations organization has an obligation to support Malians, to listen to Malians, and also to understand the challenges that Malians should overcome in order to make progress. Mali is a member of the United Nations, and it would like to have a true and sincere dialogue with all its partners.
Mali, like other countries, is celebrating World Meteorology Day on 20 May 2024. In his message on behalf of his colleague, the Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment Promotion invited Malians to work towards promoting meteorology and reducing environmental pollution. Fadema Keita summarizes the message, translated here by Ramata Ali Gisse.
This year's World Meteorology Day theme is sustainability. Indeed, this theme was finally chosen to draw the attention of political decision makers to the role that meteorology plays in achieving a sustainable economic and environment on a global and international scale. Mali enthusiastically celebrates World Meteorology Day this May 2024. This annual event aims to raise public awareness of the importance of weather in our daily lives and highlight the essential work of meteorologists and scientists who study climate and weather phenomena. This special day offers an opportunity to highlight the challenges linked to climate change and promote actions aimed at preserving our environment. In Mali, where the weather plays a crucial role in agriculture and economic activities, this celebration takes on special significance. The festivities include readings, exhibitions, and educational activities aimed at informing the public about weather forecast, climatology, and preventive measures in the event of extreme weather event. By participating in World Meteorology Day, Mali is showing its commitment to protecting the environment and promoting a better understanding of the weather. This is a great opportunity to bring the community together and work together for a more sustainable future.
FLSL English Club held the 11th edition of their Cultural Day in Badalabuku. For this time, they took advantages of their association to see how to connect our culture with other African culture, mainly the American one. Hence, the theme English Clubs as means of social and professional integration. Report Angel Dambele and Adama Traore.
Making touch African cultures and above all Malian culture and the American one is the ambition of Mali English Clubs. FLSL English Clubs has led to the 11th edition of its Cultural Day to talk about English clubs as a means of social and professional integration.
We have done with all of our yearly activities. This may be our last big activity, which is the Cultural Day. The goal and the mission of this event organization is just to make a deeply collocation between English language and our different culture, because we know English is not our mother tongue. We are living in a country where English is not an official language, is even not a lingua franca. So we have different culture thanks to our different ethnic groups. This reason, FLSL English Club is judging its necessity each year to organize such kind of cultural day for the promoting to African culture and Malian culture.
The godmother, also the English club's member, has took opportunity to underline a fundamental purpose of different English clubs as means of improvement.
The theme of today was English Club has a mean of social and professional integration. It was really great. We had a panel, after the different speeches, we had a panel about the importance of English Club, how the English Club can be a tool for all the members of English Club to build their social and professional lifestyles in the future, what they can do also as a professional. We had a great one, have a cultural show, which also show how we are. We have Malian from different background and different culture. People from Menaka, from Kulukoro, from Sikaso, we all come together as one person of English Club. There's no any discriminations as Christian and Muslim. We are all Malian and we are all African. It was an opportunity also to learn from each other, to see what everyone can do. We are not only limited in English learning, we are also a leaders, we are also a Malian.
The godfather, Mr. Brema Dumia, performing in the rural sector, has decided to support these young people thanks to their community engagement, he said. Mr. Dumia himself is a mechanic who has trained more than 30 young people. Many figures, panelists, and dear guests who partook in this great festival are conscious that the true development is understanding your own culture.
Launch of the book General Abdoulaye Soumaré, Pente de vie d'un homme d'honneur. This 136-page book, written by his son Birahim Soumaré, opens a window on the life and career of the first general and first chief of staff of the Malian army. He was one of the pioneers in the construction of the Malian army. The book is published by Yeredon. Bema Sibi for the report with the voice of Fatou Dramé.
We are building solid only on the past and the rise of the Malian army, which is to build a power of farmers, draws its source from the vision of the pioneer independent weapon, even to preserve territorial integrity and sovereignty. First chief of staff of the Malian army was recently the great project owner of this project. The great known and recognized officer is presented in the book General Abdoulaye Soumaré, Life of a Man of Honor. It is revealed here by his son Birahim Soumaré. In the 136 pages of the book, we discover a typical man originally from Segala in Kai, born in Saint-Louis in Senegal, French. He served in Sudan. At the independence, he opted for Mali. According to the author, the backbone of a nation is the army. Without an organized, structured army, there is no nation. In this dynamic that I propose to shed some light on the journey of this man. Mali has a military memory. Minister Yamusa Kamara affirms that the writing of the military history of Mali comes from our desire to engage in a process of rebuilding our defense tool. We need to recall the great figures of history. General Abdoulaye Soumaré, part of the life of a man of honor, published in the edition Yeredon, does a window on the military history of Mali.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is all for Mali News, but stay with us for the guests of the week. Today we have an interesting topic to debate: the 30th anniversary of South Africa Independence Day. I am in the studio with two persons from South Africa Embassy in Mali. First person is Avumil Dlakavu, political advisor. Welcome.
You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you very much.
The second person is Mrs. Patience Massissi, chargée d'affaires, South Africa Embassy in Mali. Welcome, Mrs.
Thank you for having us.
Okay. So my first question is to know, as the 30th anniversary of South Africa's independence has been just celebrated, what souvenir do you have about it?
Okay. Now, thank you very much for the question, and welcome also to your viewers. As you have put it, South Africa is celebrating this year, the whole of this year, in fact, since the 27th of April, we're celebrating the 30 years of our freedom. The 30 years of our freedom since 1994, in April, on the 27th, when our masses, the masses of our people, took a stand and said, away with apartheid. We want to be free. We want to progress. We want to be as Africans, in totality. And it is that journey, therefore, that we were celebrating this year until to date. Until this year, as we will be concluding in December. But most importantly, as per your question, is that what are the souvenirs that we can lift up in the 30 years of this freedom? Key amongst those is indeed the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa, which was adopted in 1996. In these 30 years, that constitution that has molded the South African society and ensured that we are a living a state that is able to articulate its vision, but also to ensure that the legacy that we're coming from, which is many years of apartheid, is being discarded in the system. There are a number of things, of course, apart from the constitution. The fact that the South Africa were able this year to conduct elections to ensure that the democracy is sustained. It's one of the sovereignty, because out of that constitution we're able to ensure that we have a successive elections and successive governments that we manage to ensure that they exist in South Africa for the benefit of South Africa in a democratic system. There are indeed a number of them, and My Excellency will also add on those sovereignty.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, Madam.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you for your question and greeting to the viewers at home. I also want to. Souvenirs is like a remembrance of what the milestones that we have traveled in South Africa. I will focus on the freedoms that we gained: freedom of speech, freedom of movement, freedom of association.
Yes.
In the past, we didn't have those freedoms. We are coming out of a difficult past, whereby even in terms of careers, some careers were restricted to us, but today we are able to pursue whatever studies we want to. And the immoral act, most of the policies which were dividing us, discriminating against us, were repealed. If you can look into our sports, remember South Africa was sanctioned, South Africa was banned, we were not allowed to compete anywhere. Today we are able to enjoy sport with the African continent, with the whole world. And then we are allowed to travel anywhere, we are allowed to stay wherever we want to. In the past we were not allowed to do that. Okay. So our democracy has repealed a lot of painful policies from our agenda. So today we as South Africans, we are able to come to Mali as a black person. We are here, unlike in the past. So we have a lot to remember. Beautiful memories that we have traveled from 1994 up to now.
Okay, so are there people who contributed to South Africa's independence achievement still alive?
Oh, most unfortunately, our heroes, our heroines, our stalwarts, our foremothers, they have passed away.
Okay.
We have a few have remained, but we are grateful to their sacrifices for the freedom. Most of them are no longer alive.
Okay. May their soul rest in peace.
Yes.
Okay. So, do you think there is still much to do in terms of progress after what has been achieved in South Africa?
Yes, yes, indeed. Whilst we are celebrating the success and progress already, as My Excellency has alluded to, including issues like electricity, which is now has been expanded to many households. But there are those people who are still experiencing some challenges.
Yeah.
The unemployment, whilst South African government since 1994 has tried to increase the number of people who are employed in the system, both in the public as well as in the private sector, but we still have a challenge of unemployment, and hence our government has also infused a part of its program, an economic recovery program, to ensure that people are continuously being employed, trying to reduce the level of unemployment.
Okay.
I mean, there are a number of areas wherein South Africa is still having challenges. Remember, South Africa is a developing country on its own. It has its own developmental challenges, just like any African country or just like any other developing country. We are still experiencing some of those challenges, and we are not really, in fact, we are very clear as government to say these are our challenges, and we must work together to advance the quality life for our people, and to improve the living conditions of our people.
You have something to add?
Yes, I would like to quote one of the famous quotes of Nelson Mandela that, you know, after climbing a great hill, one finds that there are many more hills to climb. So our democracy is still young. 30 years is still young. So we still have a lot more to do. We have achieved a lot by providing houses, like my colleague has said, electricity, access to water, access to health, access to better standard of living. We have done that, but there is still a long way to go. There is a room for improvement.
What activities do you plan to do in Mali for the celebration of your Independence Day?
Yes, we do have some activities planned to be celebrated in Mali. Already we have started with having a freedom lecture at the university. On Tuesday, we had a successful lecture at the university in Mali. And then today's interview is one of our program. And in June, we are going to celebrate the Youth Day together with Africa Youth Time here in Mali. And we have planned to honor the legacy of our late President Nelson Mandela in July through the 67 minutes. We are going to have a project on that one. And we have Nelson Mandela orphanages, Nelson Mandela School, that we are also going to celebrate with those children in the remembrance of our 30 years of celebration. And then going forward, we have August, Women's Month. We are going to celebrate it as well. Come September, it's our Heritage Month. We have activities planned with the Malians. And then we will end our celebration in December with the Reconciliation Day.
Okay. Thank you. That's good. So Mali and South Africa share a good relationship since the independence. So could you tell us more about this bilateral cooperation?
Mali and South Africa, they enjoy cordial, sound bilateral relations. And those relations, they started in April 1962 when President Mandela was traveling in most of the African countries, trying to garner support on material, financial, as well as political support in order to pursue the struggle in South Africa to liberate our people. So our relations with Mali started there. So you will remember even that in March 1996, after our democratic election, Mali was one of the first countries that President Mandela visited in order to thank the Malians for their role that they have played. So we have a memorandum of understanding in place with regard to economy, social, political, and other collaborations.
Okay.
And we have done a lot for Mali. I will quote the health brigade that came to Mali in 2000, the Cuban brigade, which assisted the Malians in the rural areas, provided health care. That was the cost were bared by South Africa. And also there was an invasion of locusts in Mali. South Africa played a role by assisting Mali with an aircraft which was able to spray all the locusticide in Mali to assist eliminating the locusts which were busy affecting agriculture in Mali.
We are at the end of this debate. I hope you will see in the coming day, perhaps after the election, we can see each other to discuss about another topic.
Of course.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the end of our today English program. We'll be together next Saturday, same time, same channel, ORTM1. May God bless Mali. Goodbye.